Hello everyone, this is Andy from the Pixel Pup, and I'm here to talk about the Switch collection. Okay, it's been about a year, maybe a little over, since we did our last Switch collection video, and that video had about 100 games. This video is a little over 200 games. Switch console is obviously one of our favorite systems to collect for. We have a ton of fun looking for different types of games and playing them on the Switch. This is just a small little assortment that I picked up from our dining room where we were taking pictures of every single one for this video. And yeah, like I said, 200 games, 200 plus games. So that's a lot to get into. So let's just go. Okay, let's start with some RPGs here. As you can see, we got some Dragon Quest games, some Final Fantasy games there for the Switch, 3 Xenoblade Chronicles games that are a good bit of fun, and the Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers HD edition. And what I wanted to talk about here is the Grandia HD collection. I just wanted to point out some games from these pictures that I just wanted to talk about. I don't think a lot of people talk about, but the Grandia HD collection is a collection of the first Grandia that was on the PS1 and the second one that originally was on the Dreamcast. These are extremely fun RPGs that still hold up to this day. It has a unique battle system that I thought was really cool at the time and still think is cool today. If you're into old school RPGs and you haven't played Grandia before, pick up this collection. It is a ton of fun. I think the graphics still hold up, especially Grandia 1. I love that pixelated look of the environments and everything, the 3D environments. It wraps me up in nostalgia. It's great. Okay, next we got some Nintendo RPGs here. You can see the Pokemon games that we've got. The Paper Marios, the Super Mario RPG, and Shin Megami Tensei 5. That was a fun one that Kathy played. She said it was too hard, though. We got some other stuff in there. Monster Hunter Stories 2, which I played a fair amount of. Ended up not liking it too much. I was kind of disappointed, but yeah, RPG train rolls on. Next up, we got some more Square Enix stuff like the Octopath Traveler games. Still haven't got Octopath Traveler 2. I want to pretty badly, but I'm knee-deep in a different series right now. Hopefully, when I get out to the end of that, I can finally dig into some Octopath Traveler 2. Bravely Default 2, I played through that. Didn't really like it. I was kind of disappointed with that game, but it is what it is. This Way Madness Lies was a game that Kathy picked up from Limited Run Games, and she had a ton of fun with it. I think she needs to play some more of the Zeboid games. I know she messed around with Cthulhu Saves Christmas, around Christmas a few years ago, but I think she needs to play Cosmic Star Heroine. This is a game we don't have physically on the Switch, which I would love to have. She's currently playing through Sea of Stars right now. She's having a good time with it, I think. We just picked up the soundtrack on vinyl, and she's been listening to a lot of that for the past couple of days. It's a good time. Bug Fables was a game I picked up from Limited Run Games and played through a little bit of. It's more of a Paper Mario style RPG. Really a big homage to that. And I wasn't feeling it for a while, and I kind of just gave up after 8 or so hours. Maybe a little less. But I think it is worth checking out if you like Paper Mario style games. And next up, we got got some of the Tales games that we picked up, some of the Atelier Ryza and Atelier Lulua games that we have picked up, and the Trails games. That's what I want to spotlight here on this particular picture. Played through Trails of Cold Steel 3 last year, and I had a good time with it. And I am now just starting Trails in the Reverie. I just started a few days ago, and it's already got my attention pretty fully. These are some very, very fun RPGs if you've never played the Trails series. They come highly recommended from me. They are supposed to be played sequentially, though, so you're probably better off starting off with Trails in the Sky and the sequels, and then before going into Trails of Cold Steel and some of the other ones, because it is one long continuous story. I started with the Cold Steel series. I haven't played the Sky series yet, but they got that remake coming sometime this year, reportedly, so hopefully I will finally get into that, but I've been having a ton of fun with that series. You check it out if you haven't. Okay, next up is what I call the adventure game part of this video. These are games that mostly Kathy has played. Stuff like Bacon Pines and Coffee Talk, Valhalla, and Space from the Unbound. She hasn't played MEO and The Smiling Man yet, but that's pretty high on her list, I believe. There's No Game was a game that I played a few months ago and had a really good time with it. It was very funny. It was very odd game. That's all I'll say. You just have to check it out for yourself. But what I wanted to spotlight here was Pentiment. Pentiment was made by Obsidian Studios that Microsoft owns, but they're putting their games out everywhere these days. And it was I've only played a couple of hours of it back on the PC when it first came out, but I had an interesting time with it. It's got an interesting story that takes place in like the 1400s in Europe, and it's very tries to be very historically accurate, and it's like a murder mystery where you're making decisions and you're doing adventure game stuff. And I just had a really good time with it, but I wanted to go back to it. But we saw it at the Living Room Game Store, and I convinced Kathy to pick it up because I think she'll like it as well. She loves these adventure games, these talky games where you talk and you figure things out. All right, next up we got some beat 'em ups here. We got a lot of the traditional ones like the River City Girls series and Shredder's Revenge and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I put Bayonetta 3 and Persona 5 Strikers in here just because there are games where you just beat the crap out of people, so I included them as well. They are fun games, Bayonetta 3 especially, and Kathy's had a lot of fun with the River City series. A lot of good music, a lot of fun animation, a lot of fun art, fun characters. It's just a good time all around. I had a ton of fun with Shredder's Revenge when I played through it last year, I believe. The game I did want to spotlight here was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the complete edition. This game was awesome. It originally came out on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 back in like 2010-ish. I remember we lived in our apartment at the time. I played through the entire game. It got stupid hard at the end. I was playing through it by myself, but I had a ton of fun with it. I love the art. I love the music. When Limited Run did the big re-release, the physical version and the soundtrack on vinyl, I had to get it. Had to get that. I love Anime Noguchi, and that soundtrack was amazing for its time. And it is a fun ass beat 'em up. If you love those types of games, please check out Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's a great time. Okay, now let's talk about some standard old action games. Now, for me, these were the kind of throwback style games of like the 8 and 16-bit era. You see, we got the Gunvolt games there, the Mega Man Zero collection and the Mega Man X collections, Valfaris, Gravity Circuit, Zeo Drifter, and both Curse of the Moon games. Those are a whole lot of fun. But the game I did want to spotlight here was Gravity Circuit. This was a game that was recommended to me on this channel in one of the comments, and I picked it up while we were in Canada last year, and it is a lot of fun. It took me a minute to get used to because it was being compared to like a Mega Man X style game, but it is where you got the Robot Masters and you could pick which one you want to fight and stuff like that. But most of the combat is melee. You're running around punching these dudes, and you got like a grappling hook. You can swing around and stuff like that. It's a whole lot of fun. Plays smooth as butter. It's got fun music. Kathy ordered me the vinyl for Christmas, but the damn company still hasn't shipped it out yet. It's been quite a few months of going back and forth with that company trying to get that vinyl, but hey, the music's still good. The only thing I don't really like about it is that it kind of looks like a Game Boy Color game, and that's a system that I completely missed out on back in the day, so that those style of visuals don't really do a lot for me. I just wish it had more color to it, like everything, all the characters kind of monochrome, but that doesn't hold it back from being a very, very fun game. Okay, next up, let's talk about some cozy games. We have quite a bit of these because these are the games that Kathy likes to play the most, I believe. I think it's RPGs and then it's cozy games. So these are all on Kathy here. We got the Animal Crossing, which she played like 400 hours of or something like that. Oubliettes, which she played a little bit of, with you got the dancing fruit and stuff and vegetables, and you have dance-offs with cards. It's a weird game. We got My Time at Sandrock. She played My Time in Portia. She played a lot of that, so she wanted to play My Time at Sandrock. I don't think she liked it as much. I think she really liked Miniko's Night Market and Cozy Grove. She played a lot of Cozy Grove. And Harvestella is still in the back burner. I played the demo of that when it first came out, and I wasn't a big fan, but we'll see how the full version is. And we got some more cozy games for Kathy. I probably should have put Night in the Woods in the adventure game section, but it is what it is. There it is. Kathy played that game, and I don't know, I think it didn't really strike her for it like it did a lot of other people, but what did strike her was Code of the Lamb. It was a ton of fun. What did strike me was Dave the Diver, which is an awesome game. New Pokemon Snap, that's what it's called. It's not the other way around. I asked Kathy with these games which one she wanted to highlight, and she wanted to highlight Dredge. Now, I've talked about Dredge a lot on the channel here recently, and it's a freaking good game. That's why I was hoping she'd pick something like Potion Permit, because I don't know much about it, but Dredge is a damn good game where you're fishing in this Cthulhu-esque world, and you're trying to solve a mystery at the same time by fishing, and you get boat upgrades. fishing rod and nets and stuff like that upgrades, and you're meeting all these freaky characters and doing tasks for them, which basically revolves around fishing. And there's something about it. It's just a damn good time. I had a ton of fun playing it when it first came out, and I had to get a physical version on the Switch. Okay, last up for the cozy games, we got your Harvest Moons, the Rune Factories, Story of Seasons. These are all Kathy games. Some of them are still sealed because we got them very cheap and just haven't got to play them yet. Stardew Valley is my favorite cozy game on the Switch, my favorite cozy game of all time. It probably won't ever be beat. Stardew Valley is freaking amazing. Spiritfarer is a fun one too. Kathy played through that earlier this year, and I think she had a damn good time with it. But yeah, those are the cozy games. Okay, now let's talk about some action RPGs. This was a weird little category to make. We got East Origins there. It's the only East game I have on the Switch. The rest I have on the PlayStation. But stuff like East 8 on the Switch goes for a pretty penny these days. We got stuff like Diablo 3, which I think we own on every single system it is available on. Kathy got really into it. We're playing it with her family, and it's a damn fun game. And Minecraft Dungeons, it's a Diablo-like on the Switch. I played through it on either Game Pass or on PSN when it was free on there. And I played through it, and I had a really good time with it. And I told Kathy she should play it on the Switch, and she bought it. And I don't think she had as much time. I think it was a bit too hard for her, and she just kind of fell off. Shining Force Refrain, or Shining Resonance Refrain, I should say, is a cool action RPG made by Sega. I played a few hours of it, but I kind of bounced off, and I can't remember why. I need to go back and give it a try. I was looking up PlayStation prices for it on eBay a couple of days ago, and maybe giving it a shot on the PlayStation, because I was wondering if the performance on the Switch is what was holding me back, because it is kind of like 3D open world-ish, running around. Plucky Squire is something I'm playing through right now. I was having a good time with it at first, and I tried to play it again a few days ago, and I could not remember what I was doing, and it was a big bummer. I had to put it back down. I was like, I don't know. And the game I did want to spotlight here is The Legend of Naruto Boundless Trails. It is a game made by Falcom, the same people who made the East series, the same people who make the Trails series, and I think this is somehow related to the Trails games, but I had no idea. It is in a completely different world, completely different style of game. It's an action RPG. I think it's a port of a PSP game that we did not get over here, I believe. And it looks like a PlayStation 1 game with the big heavily pixelated 3D graphics, and I have a ton of fun with that. It was a great game. I played through the entire thing, had a great time. If you love action RPGs, stuff like East series, don't sleep on this game. Naruto Boundless Trails is a great time. Okay, here's a small one here. Talking about some fighting / sports games. I didn't know what else to call this. What else to put Splatoon 2 into? It's basically a sport. You got teams running around making paint on walls and floors and stuff, and whoever has the most paint wins. It's a fun little time. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. That's a slip of the tongue for me, because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is my favorite game on that collection. I wanted it physically just so we can have another physical version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Is an amazing game. I played the snot out of it on the Dreamcast. It still holds up to this day. Everyone knows Smash Brothers. Everyone loves Smash Brothers. But the game I did want to spotlight here was Mario Tennis Aces. I am a huge Mario Tennis fan ever since going back to the N64, playing that first one, and then playing Virtual Tennis on the Dreamcast just like I had it. And playing it with my friends, it was just a ton of fun. And this one still holds up as far as like the multiplayer stuff goes, but I think a lot of people, including myself, were hoping for a more in-depth story mode like they did with the sports games, the Mario sports games on the handhelds back in the day on the Game Boy Color and the GBA. But they didn't. They did something a bit more bare bones. It was a good time, just not as deep as I think me and a lot of the other people wanted. But fun fact about this game is Kathy will not play it. I destroy her every single time that we do play, and it makes her so mad that she just will not play it anymore. She's done with Mario Tennis Aces, and I can't blame her. I destroy her. Okay, speaking of Mario, let's talk about the Mario games that we have here on the Switch. Just about all of them, I believe, that you could get platformer-style Mario games we have, and they're all very, very good in my opinion. I do wish they would have done a little bit more with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but it is what it is. I still had to pick it up because I love those games. I wish Super Mario Galaxy 2 was up there at the bare minimum, because that game is better than all three of those games, I believe. It was a masterpiece for its time. Those games are all still really good. The game I did want to spotlight here was Super Mario Maker 2 because I feel like that franchise just kind of fell off a cliff. They made the one on the Wii U and 2 on the Switch, and there really hasn't been anything else since. There was those rumors that Echoes of Wisdom was its beginnings, its origins was a Zelda maker that they were trying to make, and that sounds like a lot of fun too. Let's go all out. But yeah, Super Mario Maker 2, I had a ton of fun making levels for. I ended up buying a stylus to work with the Switch so I can make my levels like I did on the Wii U back in the day with the stylus, and sharing levels with different people that I knew, playing levels that one of my favorite things to do was to go to the new tab and play levels that had never been played before. And they were all almost garbage, but the reason why I did it is because when you made your level and you upload it to the internet, there would be two things that would show up. There would be the first person to beat the level and the person to beat the fastest. So the first person who beat the level would always be on there. So my little me face is staring back at a bunch of people all over the world because I played their levels first, and I did it just for that reason because I just wanted to put my stamp on their level. All right, going from Mario to some more different platformers that aren't Mario. We got the Kirby series on the Switch. Kirby rarely has a bad game. Star Allies is okay, but Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe are pretty damn good. Forgotten Land is amazing. If you haven't played that, check it out. You got stuff like Sonic Mania. I had a damn good time with that. And miscellaneous stuff, the Gianna Sisters, Save Me Mr. Taco, and Celeste being the artsy Masocore Super Meat Boy-esque platformer. It's hard as snot, but it has an amazing soundtrack and fun art. The game I did want to spotlight on here is the Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series. I love the Klonoa series. I wish they would make more. Please, Bandai Namco, listen to this video and take my recommendation. It is a fun time. This is a remake of the first two Klonoa games, and as soon as I got this in the mail from, I think it was from PlayAsia, had to sit down and play through both of them, start to finish. Just a fun time. I still have my Klonoa 2 on the PS2. I never owned Klonoa 1 on the PS1, and it burned me so bad that every time it's reissued, I buy it. I bought the Wii version day one when it first came out, and now I got this one. Klonoa is just a damn good time all around. Okay, next up, we got some puzzle games here, and some of them might not really be considered puzzle games, stuff like Monster Train and Balatro, but I didn't really know what else to put them at. And stuff like, Luigi's Mansion 3 and Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, like those puzzle games, and they have a lot of puzzles in them, but, putting games in categories can be hard sometimes, and I really want to talk about those games because they're fun as hell. Princess Farm there is a game that Kathy picked up for Luna Run last time we were there. It's a very interesting game because it is got that life simulator type stuff where you're meeting people and making friends, but it is a match 3 game at its core, and that's an interesting combo that I had not seen before. But the game I did want to spotlight on this is Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, the Definitive Edition. It's another one of those games that originally came out on Xbox Live Arcade and PSN during the 360 and PS3 era, and it's not something that I played right away, but eventually when Games with Gold rolled out, that was one of the games that was available, and I downloaded it, and I had a super good time with it. It is a very interesting kind of strategy meets puzzle game, like a match 3 type of thing where you're lining up your units and certain combinations of units will do certain things, and you have to win these battles, but it's basically through a puzzle-esque means, and it is super fun. I told Kathy to pick it up last time we were at the Lemon Run Game Store, and she did, and yeah, Clash of Heroes is great. Speaking of strategy type games, we got some real ass strategy games here on the Switch. This is mostly the domain for Kathy. I put Pikmin 4 and Wild at Heart up there in strategy games because Wild at Heart is kind of a Pikmin clone, and Pikmin 4 is kind of a real-time strategy game-esque. I've heard people describe it that way, so I'm just going to put it there. I played through Pikmin 4. I don't know if I got those vibes from it, but hey, if that's what people want to call it, that's what people call it. But they're both fun games. Kathy really loved Wild at Heart. She really loved the Mario & Rabbids games as well, and she loved 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I played a little bit of Aegis Rim, but not that much. My favorite was Unicorn Overlord, and the one I want to spotlight on this video because it is the only real-time strategy game I had played through to completion, and I had a damn good time with it. It's Vanillaware doing the Vanillaware thing with amazing art, amazing music, and amazing gameplay. It's got the real-time strategy elements that I make me want to turn the game off immediately because I don't think my brain works in that type of space. This game did it in a way that I could wrap my head around, and it had little side elements too of you like going to different villages and building them up, and putting your characters there to help out guarding the town and stuff like that, and rebuilding bridges across the world. There's enough little side stuff to not just make it all battles, which I really appreciated. It was, I don't know, my number 3 game of the year last year, because it's an awesome time. If you love strategy games, check out Unicorn Overlord. Okay, now let's check out some racing games. Not that many in our collection here. I want to change that at some point. But the ones we have, I think, are quality stuff. Mario Kart 8. Everyone has Mario Kart 8. It's like one of the best-selling games of all time. I don't think everyone has Cruisin' Blast. If you have a Switch, you need to play Cruisin' Blast. It's great. Just chaotic fun. Burnout Paradise, remaster of the PS3, Xbox 360 version, and it's a damn good time. It was good back then, and it's good now. But the game I did want to spotlight is Chocobo GP. It is the Final Fantasy racing game, and it is, since they've taken out all the free-to-play elements and stuff like that, it is a better game because that shit kind of sucked. But yeah, if you love Final Fantasy and you love kart racers, you owe it to yourself to check out Chocobo GP because it has all your favorite classes and racing around familiar areas of the Final Fantasy series. It's just a ton of fun. It's very much gets you in the feels of nostalgia if you're a Final Fantasy fan, and it's a fun little racer. It's a great time. What would a Nintendo console be without the Zelda games? You can see we have just about all of them that have been released on the Switch. I wish there were more. I wish there was a Twilight Princess sitting right there next to Echoes of Wisdom, but there's not. The Zelda games, everyone knows about the Zelda games. What I did want the spotlight was something maybe not a lot of people heard of or played, was Cadence of Hyrule. It's made by the Cryptid of Necrodancer team, and somehow they convinced Nintendo to let them make a Zelda game, and it is a fully formed Zelda game, but it does have the rhythm elements and stuff like that. And I played a little bit of Cryptid and Necrodancer, and I was, not too good at that type of stuff. But in this game, you could turn all that off and just play it as a Zelda game where you kind of hop around on a grid. And for me, that completely worked. I had a great time with it. If you love Zelda games, please check it out. If you love rhythm games with a mix of the adventure elements as well, check it out. Cadence of Hyrule is a great game. And next up, we got what I called the Zelda-alikes. These are kind of games kind of like The Legend of Zelda that are on the Switch available. We got Eastward there. Oceanhorn Knights of the Lost Realm. That one is definitely a Zelda-alike. They were trying to copy Nintendo's homework on that one. Garden Story was a fun little time, like a top-down action RPG. I haven't played Sorasa and the Lost Demon yet, but the vibes I got from it was very puzzly, top-down actioning. So that says Zelda to me. But anyway, the game I did want to spotlight here was Darksiders: The War Mastered Edition, which is a remake of an Xbox 360 PS3 era game. I feel like I've said that like 10 times in this video, but it is. My buddy Chris got it for me for $1 at Walmart. I think he bought the entire stock and just gave them to his friends. But Darksiders was a game I did play on the Xbox 360 and had a damn fun time with it. It was pretty interesting for its time because it was a game that just said, hey, what if we just take the formula of Ocarina of Time and make our own game? Like, who's going to stop us? And no one did. And they made a very fun game where you collect in different items and stuff, and you're using them in dungeon-esque environments. You're playing as War, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and it's dark and gritty, and it's just a fun game. And yeah, if you love Zelda games and you have not played this, if it was before your time and you want to Switch now, check out Darksiders because it's a really fun Zelda-like experience. All right, next up, we got a big category here with Metroidvanias. It's one of my favorite genres, and just about all of these are stuff that I have picked out. We got the Shantae games up there. Arzette Jewel of Fairmore was a extremely fun game that I played last year. The Axiom Verge games are great. Don't have the first one on the Switch, but I'm hoping to pick it up at some point. Axiom Verge 1 is definitely better than Axiom Verge 2, but Axiom Verge 2 is still a pretty damn good time. I had a lot of fun with Chasm. Chasm is a Metroidvania that is randomly generated, but if that turns you off, don't let it stop you, because I wouldn't like a randomly generated Metroidvania as well, but when I played through it, I just had a ton of fun. I couldn't really tell that it was randomly generated, but it was cool. We got some more Metroidvanias here. I know I just mentioned the randomly generated stuff like Chasm, maybe not my favorite thing, but Dead Cells and Rogue Legacy 2 I think are different in that they are the roguelikes with the run-based approach rather than just a big world that is randomly generated. This is randomly generated every time you're supposed to run. It's meant to be that way. Same thing with Dungeon Munchies, I believe. They're awesome games. I got the Wonder Boy games up there. I still need to get to Wonder Boy Asha in Monster World. I had a ton of fun with Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap. Monster Boy, I had a ton of fun with. Kathy did pick up Ender Lilies and Hollow Knight there. She said Ender Lilies was too hard, and she wanted to play Hollow Knight because people were talking really, glowingly about it. And I told her it's going to be harder than Ender Lilies probably. So, but we'll see what she thinks about it when she gets to it. Okay, last up here we got the actual Metroid games, Metroid Prime Remastered and Metroid Dread. Both great games, even though I couldn't beat Dread. I fought that final boss like 15 times in a row, and I just knew when I'm beat. It wasn't going to happen, but I did love the Metroid Prime Remastered. I did play through all of that. Excellent game. The Castlevania Advanced Collection. I did play through, what did I play through last year? It was Aria of Sorrow. Aria of Sorrow is a great game. Still holds up. The Mummy Demastered. Awesome game. It's more leaning towards the Metroid style games in the Castlevania style because you have a lot of ranged weapons and picking up a lot of guns, stuff like that. Infernax, let's go about Infernax. I feel like every other video on this channel, so I'll leave it at that. The game I didn't want to spotlight was Time Spinner on this list. Time Spinner is, the look of it just really evokes that Symphony of the Night feel to it with the pixel graphics and the backgrounds and stuff like that, just the art style. But it was a very fun game that I don't feel like enough people talk about. It is getting a sequel. I think it was supposed to come out last year, but it didn't. Haven't followed up on it too much, but when it does come out, I would definitely be picking it up because Time Spinner was a great time. If you love Metroidvanias and you haven't played it, you need to check out Time Spinner. Okay, this will be a quick one here. 2 games for survival horror. We got Signalis and Deadly Premonition Origins. Signalis was a game that I got for Kathy a few years ago that was on her Amazon wish list for like $20. Now it goes for a lot more, and I'm not sure why. I guess they didn't make that many of them, but as far as I know, it is kind of a throwback to like a PS1 style survival horror game. Think of your Resident Evils, that type of thing. It's even got that pixelated look to it. But the game I know the most about here is Deadly Premonition Origins. I picked this up in Canada, and I was very excited to see it because it was one of those games that I kind of wanted to play on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, but never got around to it. I remember watching the Giant Bomb endurance run that all 4 guys participated in, and it was a lot of fun to watch, and it was a very strange game, very odd. It mixes open world with survival horror with just a bizarre story, bizarre gameplay concepts. It's a wild ride, and I was happy to finally own a physical copy because I'd been looking for one on the older systems for a while, but Switch is the way to go for me. Okay, next up we got some miscellaneous games here, games that I didn't really know where to put them at. We got the little art fest that is Gree. Someone told me how to pronounce it in one of the comments, and I've already forgot. WarioWare Move It there, which was a fun throwback to like WarioWare Smooth Moves on the Wii. But the game I did want to spotlight the most here was Arcade Paradise. Arcade Paradise was a damn fun arcade management sim / doing other people's laundry type game. I played through it on the PC a few years ago, and last time we were at Limited Run Games, I saw a physical version. I was like, I have to have this physically because I had a fun time with it. I really want Kathy to play it because I think she would enjoy it. And you have all these arcade machines that you lay out in your laundromat. You're trying to change the laundromat over to an arcade slowly but surely, and then you can play the games. And the more you play the games, the more money they make because they're more popular because you've been playing them. It's just a fun time. If any of that sounds interesting, you need to check out Arcade Paradise any way you can because I think it's on every single console. So check it out. Okay, last up, we got some big box games here. This is what I'm going to call them. These are kind of the collector's editions of stuff we picked up, mostly because they were mad cheap. And a lot of them we got from the limited run warehouse sale that was a few years ago at this point, where they just had a tent set up in the back of their warehouse, and they were just selling a bunch of games for extremely cheap. A lot of them were damaged, but a lot of them weren't. And yeah, that's how we got Dark there, the complete edition. Toki, the retro collector edition, I actually got from a GameStop quite a while ago for like $5 or something. It was a deal, and I just wanted to pick it up because who knows when I want to play some Toki. And so we got the Snow Brothers Nick and Tom Special Edition and the Zombies Ate My Neighbor Ghoul Patrol Special Edition we got them from the Limited Run warehouse sale, you can see the Snow Brothers Dare does have a tear on the A and L there of special. I don't think I really noticed it when we picked it up, but it was like $20 or something for that giant thing. I don't think that was anything more than that. Maybe 30. Man, how could you pass this up? And then we got Silent Hope down there at the bottom. Is something I picked up a few years ago. Played a little bit of it, and it was fine. I should go back to it someday. Okay, of course, we have Ring Fit Adventure. If you own a Switch, you should own Ring Fit Adventure. It was a great game. It was my exercise during the pandemic lockdowns when I wanted to stay at home, be safe. I played Ring Fit, running in place, and my fat ass was making all the stuff, you know, shake around in the living room. I was exercising, man. I was trying to beat Ring Fit. And we got Trinity Trigger and Potionomics, two of the XC games that Kathy picked up here recently. I'm excited for her to play Potionomics because I think that looks like a pretty good time. And we got some more Xseed games here. East Othofogana is something that I really want to play. I think I said East Origin was my only East game on the Switch. I lied. I have another one, but it only came in a few months ago. I'm very excited to play it. I'm very excited to play it because I don't think I played a bad East game yet, and I think people like this one. Cuisinier is a cool looking game where you, looks like a Hades style game where you run around these isometric randomly generated environments, shooting a bunch of things, and then by day you're running a restaurant. I guess you're taking the ingredients you find from those little exploits and cooking food and laying out your restaurant and having a good time. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit was an interesting idea, and it was a lot of fun for a couple of weekends, but I don't think we've messed around with it in years. But we still have that Luigi Mario Kart sitting on our shelf, looking all cool. Now here we got some more. This is some stuff that we picked up from the limited run warehouse sale, like Phantom Breaker Omnia, which is a fighting game, I think with a bunch of girls, mostly, I think. And River City Girls Zero in the Super Nintendo style box. The Shantae, the first game that was on the Game Boy Color. There's a Switch version. Breath of the Wild Explorers Edition, which I got on clearance at Walmart. It was cheaper than the regular version of Breath of the Wild, and I already played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, so I wanted it on the Switch, and that's how I got it for a fairly steep discount, and it was the Explorer Edition. It was awesome. The Nintendo World Championship NES Edition, something I picked up last year. Had a lot of fun with it. I wish it was crazier like they did the NES Remix games back in the day. It actually made me buy a copy of NES Remix on the Wii U so I can mess around with that crazy stuff. But the game I do want to highlight the most is Loop Hero. I think Loop Hero was a game that kind of came and went a few years ago. People talked about it for a little bit and never again, but I loved Loop Hero. It is a very, very interesting game. It's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of a deck builder, kind of a town builder, sort of, but you got this little loop, and you got your little dude running around the loop, and he encounters different enemies, and you place your cards down that can affect the loop or affect the area outside the loop. It's hard to describe. Just play it. If you can pick it out on a discount, check it out, because Loop Hero is a fun time. I wish they would... I wish I'd hear more from that team, what they're doing next, because Loop Hero is fun as hell. Okay, those have been the Switch games in our Switch collection, the entire thing, for the most part. I still got some that I haven't added to the video yet because they showed up after we took the pictures. But anyway, if you see all these games and you think we should add something to the collection that's not there, I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always open to check out new experiences, check out new games. Always up for it. So please like, subscribe, leave the comments on the video. Let us know what we need. I've been Andy from the Pixel Pub. Peace out.